of Armada River Council meeting will now come to order. Will everyone rise for the pledge of allegiance to the flag, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Patty. Clerk will call roll, please.
Shaw?
Here.
Clark?
Here.
Conan is absent. Wolock?
Here.
Belkey?
Here.
Sleds?
Here.
Baylor?
Here.
Next is approval of the agenda. What's council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move.
We got to add.
We have to add to this AIS construction equipment repair, and that would be new business D.
Very good.
That being said, Mr. President, I'll move that the agenda be accepted as amended.
Support.
Moved and supported by Floyd. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Next, at this time, the floor is open up to citizen comments. So state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes to address the council.
Okay, if you're talking about me, my name's Mark Ezzo, 74130 Fulton Street in Armada.
Welcome, Mr. Evans.
Hello, I'm here to ask to be put on a future agenda or a future meeting from you guys. I have an issue. My building was built as an industrial building in 1948. I bought it in 1983 to use it as an industrial building with industrial activity. It has been performing industrial activities my entire span of ownership, and it still is. It does not meet the village master plan, however, of 500 feet from residential. 0 buildings in the village do. My building is occupied, still doing activity. The master plan calls for me to never use industrial use again. How did I lose my ability to house industrial activity in a building which I have used as such my entire ownership? P.S. I'm reading this now. There has already been a court case ruled against the village, and a much weaker case. I am not a rich man. Please do not make me take this to court, which is, according to Ben, is where the next step is. The village has not shown a need for more retail space or office space. In fact, trends nationally and locally are it's the opposite. It's the age of Amazon, it's the age of work at home, yada yada. So I've got a lot to talk about, but I obviously can't do it 3 minutes, so I need to be invited to be put on your agenda, and that's why I'm here. I'll probably learn an answer come tomorrow, the next day, or whatever, and find out if I've been accepted to be put on the agenda or not, or what.
You can notify me. Putting them on the next one.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
research it and like I said, I know a little bit about the case, but I'm certainly not an expert at this point. So Michelle and I can review it and get Mark an answer.
Right. So we'll get you an answer back after the clerk and the attorney
Sounds good.
meets or talks about it, Mark, okay?
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
You'll be invited as such or notified as such.
Alrighty.
Very good. Thank you for stopping in.
Oh, alrighty.
There's no other citizens in the audience at this time, so that will be closed. No presentations tonight, and next is the administrative reports. You have the planning commission meeting minutes of September the 9th and October the 5th. Also, we're talking about the F&G report for September's in our packet, and then we have our liaison reports, and then there'll be a sidewalk project update. So, council have any comments?
Mr. President, I do on the sidewalk update. I've been in contact with our contractor, and I asked him if he could hold the price to do this thing next spring. The reason is that we're running out of time right now, and our sidewalks need to be done. And he informed me that he said the only increase there would be in the materials. He says that he's looking between 5 and 10%. He says he's thinking it's going to be about 8% increase in that. If the council would like to put it back out for bid, and remember, we put it out and we only got one return, we can do that. It also says that in our ordinance, we have to give our residents a 14-day notification by a registered letter. And I believe our clerk has done this. They've gone out.
No, they have not.
Oh, they have not gone out
No,
yet.
that was waiting
Okay.
till tonight.
So that being said, I'm going to ask the council to please bear with me, and we can do this in the spring.
It does not affect the Act 51. I mean,
Right,
the
yeah,
survey
that's
knows we
another
looked
thing.
into
It's
that.
not gonna affect any of our Act 51 money, which is good. Okay? So that's what I'm here to inform the council and the citizens of, is that this will be done in the spring.
Oh, this will be actually enough time to, if these statements go out, so the residents will know what they're looking at for charges.
Exactly.
Which would be paying their half, you know.
Exactly.
So the council pays the other half, so they get some reprieve here, in other words, on money, in other words.
Right,
Well,
exactly.
some more time.
Some more time is
Some more
right, yeah,
time.
so.
Is there any prospect to go on contract earlier and just so he knows he's got the work and hold the price? Or?
Well, that's what, we've already discussed that with him. That's why I said, we went to him and said that.
Oh, okay, so he would hold.
He would hold it
material.
between the 5 and 8%, between the 5 and 10%. He says approximately 8% is what the increase would be.
It might be possible too, that there's no real increase in charges, that maybe we can get for less than 8%. I
Exactly.
mean, we'll ask, then
Sure we will.
that's the thing, because it's gonna benefit us and our residents.
Sure. He's willing to work with us.
Good.
And if I'm not mistaken, the way this happens, I mean, the village will pay him and then we recoup the money from
Yes.
the residents.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think I'll have it, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, if just so council's aware, if there was some type of hardship situation too, we do offer, like an installment thing. for
Yes.
everybody.
Okay.
So it's all, I'm pretty sure it's all in the ordinance.
It is,
It
it's
is.
very clear. in
So
the
we have a
ordinance.
pretty much a standard, I think it's our consent special assessment, which give them opportunity to pay installments versus having to pay it all at once. So
Yeah.
Right.
probably, for all those reasons, it's probably better to.
I think it is.
Yep.
Very good, thank you, Mr. Valley. Any other liaison report? If not, we will move on to the general business, please. Consent agenda approval of the regular council meeting minutes of October the 25th, and a payment of bills. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
By Ross, please. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. New business with, first is approval of the Hydro Corp corporate contract for non-residential cross-connection inspection. Ross, this is your department. Did you make a comment? Did you want to make a comment?
Yes, please. So this has been before council before, and we sidelined it so that we could do a little bit of investigation in terms of a reimbursement to the contract proposal price for any inspections that that were expected to be done but didn't get completed. If you remember the proposal from last time, it did indicate that we have 91 non-residential facilities. The expectation by the contractor was he would have to perform 110 inspections. Could be for any number of reasons. A simple one is that he schedules an inspection, he goes there and nobody's there at the facility. He's gotta come back. It's his time, right? So he's gonna charge for it. I did have a conversation with the company, and they will reimburse or rebate us the money for any inspections less than 110 that they conduct. So that's good news there. Just a quick note in my write-up, I did say that the inspections for non-residential by the ordinance that we passed here several months ago have to be completed within a shorter amount of time than the residentials, and so this again just focuses on the non-residential facilities, the commercial, the industrial, the schools, so on. It indicates in there that the inspections have to be completed by 31 July of 2021. That's not right, it's 2022. So just an error on my part, but it's essentially 18 months or so. And it's important for me to get this approved tonight so that we can go forward and start to plan for the start of inspections, which will be in February of next year. We got to get a letter out with the December water sewer bill, for example, to notify people that this is coming. I also want to mention that Jeff did take a look at the proposal. There's a couple little things that we need to work with the company. It should not affect the price here. It's just things that we want to get nailed down in the proposal. Example, there's a clause in there that they've already done as part of previous work, so we want to get it taken out of there. They got to provide some insurance before they start. So we'll work that before we sign off on the proposal. But tonight we want to get the money approved so we can get moving forward with that. I'd like to make a motion that in accordance with Village Code Section 7-2 CVII, those are subparagraphs, to waive the requirement of a bid or RFP and approve a professional service agreement between the Village of Armada and HydroCorp Incorporated for non-residential cross-connection inspections at a cost of $12,528 and authorize the Water Commissioner to sign the agreement on behalf of the village.
Support.
Moved and supported. Belkey, Ballard. Any further discussion?
I neglected to mention the reason why we're citing the village code is because I have an ability up to a certain dollar amount to unilaterally approve these things. This is slightly over that. HydroCorp is the same company that did our cross-connection and backflow prevention plan. We're already talking with these guys, working with these guys, and they have a knowledge of the village now through those discussions and are able to execute this fairly quickly. So for a difference of $3,000, give or take, I don't want to go out and spend 3 months competing it, right? So that's the reason why I'm doing this, in case there were any.
And on the payment, it said there's 4 payments.
We would break it up.
Some $100 a piece, and then apparently then at the end, if there was any unused inspections, then we would get a refund, or that last payment would be reduced then.
I would think that's the way it
I'm
was.
assuming that we did, right?
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, on call roll, please.
Belkey,
Yes?
Ballard,
Yes.
Sledge,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Next is the catch station quote. Mr. Ballard is within the streets, please.
Yes, well, it's that time of the year again when we have to award our catch basin quotes. We received two quotes, one from Metro Sewer Cleaners and the other from Tri-County VAT Services. It came out that Metro was the least expensive, and they are cleaning 200 of the street catch basins, and they're going to off-site disposal of the catch basin debris for a total of $7,995. This has been budgeted for, so therefore, I would like to resolve to accept the bid from Metro Sewer Cleaners in the amount of $7,995 for the cleaning of 200 village catch basins.
Support. Yes.
Could we just add to authorize you to sign, because I think they do have a signature on their.
Yes, and authorize the street administrator to sign all documents.
I'm good with that.
Very good, thank you. All right, any further discussion on that, please? If not, call roll, please.
Baylor?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Delphi?
Yes.
Sweds?
Yes.
Fuller?
Yes, motion carried. Next is office closure on November the 25th. That's the day before Thanksgiving. That's requested by the clerk and the treasurer. What is council's wishes?
Mr. President, I make a motion to close the village office on Wednesday, November 25th, 2020. Support.
Moved and supported, and Belkey and Shaw. Any further discussion? Just before a holiday, sometimes people just don't come in and frequent the office, something like that.
Very
Anyway,
slow.
they're out busy getting their dinners ready and everything else most likely, so good, more power to them too, so. Okay, thank
What
you.
are you doing? Oh,
Yeah, I want a full roll on
you
that.
want to roll or just a
I
vote?
want a roll call on that.
Delphi?
Yes.
Sweds?
Yes.
Shaw?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Baylor?
Yes.
Fuller?
Yes,
I'm sorry,
Motion carried.
did you do the second on that, Mike?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, all right.
yeah.
Okay,
Belkey and
I
Shaw.
wrote it down wrong.
Belkey and Shaw.
Okay, we're good.
Next is
Right
the
next.
tractor, backhoe, and front loader, which is probably about, I think it was, they tell me 11 or 12 years old roughly, and it seems like there's quite a bit of problems with it. You have a general list here of items that we sent the tractor over to AIS, which is a John Deere dealer, and the fact is that we contacted, I should say, the Ford dealer, which the tractor is a Ford. Well, we could not get the tractor in because they're busy time of the year, and so they was pushing us back 3 weeks and another 3 weeks on top of that. And so the thing is, we got it in, and they are giving us a loaner, but you can see what the price is of the loaner also as such. It's about $1,000 a week. And they're probably going to give it to us for roughly $3,000 approximately, if we keep it for the 4 weeks. So we're getting a little grace there. As you can see, parts and labor is always expensive. And this is something that's industrial too, which then again, on top of that, it's not regular farm equipment because it's called a tractor. Looking all this over, what does council wish to think or do?
Mr. President, I will resolve in accordance with the Village Code of Ordinances, 7-2, subsection C, VII, to waive the requirements of RFP for proposal estimate from AIS Construction Equipment for necessary repairs to the backhoe at a cost of $14,106.13, and authorize the DPW supervisor to sign the agreement on behalf of the village.
Support.
Ballard and Clark,
Discussion, Mr. President?
discussion please.
After this, can we set up a system to where the tractor will be looked at every 90 days to be checked over?
Well, I think,
Maintenance schedule?
Exactly.
I think in coming, we have a new position, a person coming in the position too for our supervisor. That's going to be one of his, part of his undertakings also. I think all our equipment needs repair.
Yes.
Now, we just got through with one of our dump trucks. and that was quite expensive.
Mhm.
So the thing is, we cannot stand this without going through the maintenance programs and problems.
I agree.
So I think really it's time that we start, doing this, laying this down as a policy. So, then it'll be taken care of, and we shouldn't have to climb, into our pockets real deep. And this is deep. In fact, also I'm going to advise the supervisor, because I told him I would call him in the morning to see what, we did with this motion. And so I intend to ask him to see if they can cut corners on some of these things, or a little bit of the labor, being as though we are going with the rental of their other tractor.
Yeah.
Now, Ford does not,
No, we don't.
do not rent anymore. So the thing is, like I said, they were so busy anyhow, we couldn't get in. I talked to one of my personal people that I do business with, my tractors, and he couldn't take it because he's a farm tractor man. He's all by himself, and he couldn't handle this. He says it's too much, it's too big. So, but otherwise, he would be glad to help us if it was just a plain farm tractor.
So we've got one long lead item part, and potentially on the axle.
Yeah.
The support, which could be a 31-week lead time item.
Right. Yeah, that's very long, and which I told Ed too, that if they're gonna try to repair it, and they think it's gonna be as good as new, because I question that also. I like getting into this kind of stuff because it's something that should be lasting.
Does anybody know that age?
That's the most expensive.
That's about 12 years old roughly, at least.
Yeah, it's about 12.
Just so we don't have a systemic maintenance program that we just beat it to death.
No, you never buy them usually with that kind of equipment, because you have warranties for 1 year or 2 years at the most.
Oh, yeah, but I'm talking about us setting one up, like.
Well,
DM
yeah.
schedule.
Well, which we could probably do,
Right.
and depends on the cost, So they can run expensive, anticipation. That's the problem.
Yeah. But I mean, we can tailor our own program.
Yeah.
and,
But I think the guys can do some of this stuff themselves.
Oh, sure.
And I think Ed has helped us out with also on the
Check the oil and the air pressure and the hydraulic fluid in the system and stuff like that. If you see a
Well-
seal leak, don't keep pushing it till it blows.
Right, that's the whole thing, and I think it's just been pushed, so, and, it's easy to just put in the garage and don't look at it. So, it's gotta be looked at.
Right.
So, same with our trucks. It's just like the pickup itself.
Right.
If you don't change oil in the pickup, it's gonna be very clogged. And
Absolutely.
the smudge and or whatever they call it, when it mounts up, then it doesn't wanna run right. And somebody wants a new vehicle. We can't afford new vehicles like that.
No.
And then again, another thought is too, I've been thinking, being so if we have to go with a DPW pickup, when we get rid of our pickup in the police department, if it warrants, maybe we could just take that over and sell the DPW red one. So it might be a possibility to get it by for maybe 2-3 years possibly,
Yeah,
and then get it going,
it's not a bad
So, but
idea.
that's gonna be in the previous council's
Right.
future.
Mhm.
All right, so,
Roll call.
have roll call on this one, please. There's Lenny.
Ballard,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Sutz,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes.
Wallach,
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
A motion carried. This would probably be back possibly, if they can get it in and started with the okay, in about 3 weeks. So that should take care of our rental then,
Yeah.
that would go back.
Good.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, you never know when you're gonna need something, especially when we get water and sewer. And they do use it with the leaves too somewhat, so. Next is the old business sewer plant update, Mr. Clark, your department, please.
Yes, the new generator was delivered last week. It's on site. Right now, the plant is operating on the rental generator. They've got that up and running. They talked to Matt today. They had a few hiccups, but they've gotten everything straightened out. And hopefully by Wednesday or Thursday, we'll be back on our normal power and the new generator will be running and everything. Let's see. The new boiler is almost completed. It's probably maybe 2 days from firing it up. Looks really nice. A lot of nice shiny copper plumbing down there. And we got some good news on the autoclave I talked about that was going to run $6,000 to $8,000. Matt Carson's our operator down there. He did some more investigating and he was able to find one that meets their needs for $3,264.
Wow, nice.
And we expect it to be delivered in about 2 weeks. So that's all I've got right now.
Okay, any questions of Mr. Clark? If not, Water Department, Mr. Belkey, please.
Yes, I'm just gonna change the order for continuity here. Let me talk about the Arsenic Detention Project update first, or just a note in your packet. I have talked to Roe, now that we've got the easement issue resolved. We put in permitting paperwork, so things are starting to move now that we've resolved the issue with the county. Thank you, Jeff. Couldn't have done it without this guy. So in any case, it just indicates next steps that are coming up with a potential award on or about the 1st of March. So the intention is to pay for that this year. It was on the docket for this year, so that's good. Remember that project and paying for media for the water treatment plant can't coexist in the same space. It's really too much, I believe, budget-wise. And so, and we don't have any path forward yet on the G2 media anyway, although that is also moving forward. I have no idea when it's going to be approved and when we may be able to purchase the first 2 vessels. In any case, that then tells me that the one on the docket to take care of is the Arsenic backwash detention tank. Again, it'll come before council a couple times more before we do anything. Council has to approve the cost to go into construction engineering, right? But Roe, in this case now, is taking care of the rest of the things that they need to do for design engineering, which includes putting out a solicitation to industry for bidders. It also, at the very end here, gives you an idea of what the lead time for materials and the construction schedule will be. That would all be in the next fiscal year. So the intent, again, try to pay for it this fiscal year, do the work spring, summer, fall of next year. Okay, questions?
I just want to make a comment here, and this will help the sewer plant immensely, keep the arsenic from getting in down there, so we can keep on doing our land application. So,
Yeah.
so it sounds real good, Ross.
Yeah, thanks. It's well, and in theory, it's going to reduce our vectoring costs. It's about it's about $1,000 a month to have the vector truck come out and vector out our current detention tank. This should space that out a little bit more. Okay, next item, and I thought Steve would be here. Steve Nichols, I had a copy for him. Steve came in at the last meeting, as you recall, and he talked about the fact that the area in which he lives, the water he's noticing rust in the water and a smell to the water, and he's asked for some remedy from the village. We did talk about most of the things that I put in a little update, which is, in fact, that yes, he lives in what's called a dead-end water main loop, in that the water mains there are small in size and they're not connected to allow the flow in that area to be better than it is. It's an item that we've known about for a long time, and in the water reliability study that we did this last year, we did cite that along with a number of other projects having similar issues, small mains, lower flows for fire purposes and so on, as stuff to fix. In fact, connecting Teach Street, which he is just off of, between Main and Prospect, will help significantly. It's listed in the top 5 high priority projects. So we're well aware of it, and we've identified it in the latest study for something to do. The problem, of course, is you gotta have money to do it. We are very much engaged now. In fact, I just had a great meeting with F&V on this last Friday, talking about capital improvement plan and how to fund it, right? That's the magic elixir. We want to know what street, what water, what sewer issues we have, overlay that stuff together and determine where the priorities really are. And you know, as I wanted to be able to tell Steve, it's a high priority in here, but this is a unilateral look at water. It doesn't really look at roads and sewer. So it may or may not be as high a priority, but it's been identified. We are looking for ways now to fund this stuff and get some of these projects taken care of. So the process continues. I think we're on a good glide slope to have that capital improvement plan by December, and we ought to know where it sits in the mix of things and how we might be able to fund it. Steve did recommend that council give him some dispensation on filtration systems and so on. I cannot recommend that. You know, the water quality, and I've got attached to this a copy of the 2019 water condition report that gets put out by the village. This is done annually. 2019 is the last one. There'll be another one this year for 2020. Our water quality is good, but you know, taste and odor and so on are subjective. That's why people put water softeners in their system. If the water is too hard, some people do it, some people don't do it. Some people put filtration systems on, other people don't do it. Our water quality is good, so that's a subjective issue, and I can't support doing something for him, because we'll have everybody else in the village, to include me, coming before council asking for dispensation in some way too, so we don't want to do that.
Actually, the bond issues won't permit us to do that either.
That's true, absolutely, yeah. The long story short is, Steve has identified a known problem. We're aware of it over there, especially because it is a closed loop system, that we have a couple others in the village. So he's not incorrect that, you know, he may smell, he may have a smell in his water that he doesn't like, or that there's extra iron in the water. But the water quality, drinkability is there. There's no issue with that. And as we have funding and we prioritize, hopefully we can get at it.
Right, well, that's the main thing, which he was told, and we did cover it, and you got it covered real well in our package here now. And so that's why I say really, depending on that, we'll do more flushing if possible.
Yes, thanks for reminding me.
DPW can do now.
Yes.
So that's the bottom line right now, until we get more money.
Yes, I did ask Roe, our village engineer, if there was anything else that we could do with respect to that, and really it comes down to flushing. And so I've talked to Ed already about flushing a little bit more frequently in that area up until the weather turns bad. There'll be several months where we won't be able to flush, but other than that, we can try to do a monthly flush of the area to help the flow and make sure the water doesn't sit longer than it might in other areas of the village.
Very good, Ross. I think you did a good job here explaining too.
Thank you.
So,
I'll leave this
it's well covered in the packet, so thank you.
Yep.
Arsenic detention project update, you have something?
You already did that.
We're
done.
I'll cover that now. Okay, up and coming agenda items, council item.
Yes, I'm hoping to, at the next meeting, bring the draft contract proposal from F&B for the management of the village waterworks. Really want to try to do something at the next meeting, not later than the first meeting in December, so that we can decide to either move forward with that or continue to negotiate. Because again, we'll be down to 3 months, the 1st of January, and we do want to transition. We do not want to have Ed leave and somebody else walk in the same day. It's not good business practice, so.
We're good, thank you.
Okay.
Citizen comments, open up to the floor, and there's no citizens in the audience at this time, will record show as such, and at this time, the council comments, if you have any. Me, so I hear none. Is there any community events that the council wants to announce?
Have we heard back from, on holidays at all?
That's been canceled.
I haven't heard anything from them. They had a drop dead date of November 15th for their decision making.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
I don't know if anything, I mean, I'm sure everybody's, the numbers are not
Yeah.
trending well at all. If anything, there's more regulations coming out this week, so
Yeah, I did hear that.
unfortunately, I think everybody on council's hoped that the numbers would go this way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're skyrocketing, so, you know, we have hot numbers higher now, more positive cases now per week than even in. So it's, you know, maybe it was a good thing that we kind of, you know.
I think it was the right thing to do. It
Yeah.
just, I know that they were looking at, hey, maybe there's an alternative, like people can park their cars and they'll bring a freight.
I haven't, yeah, they have not contacted me yet.
But the last I heard, that was a statement I made that supposedly I heard it was word of mouth has been canceled, so. Yes, it comes forth to us, you know.
Right.
We're not gonna look forward to it, I guess.
Right.
Next, is we don't have a closed session tonight. And so, at this time, I'm gonna entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
Time is 7:37. I move to adjourn.
Support.
Okay, we're going to give it to Mr. Shaw.
Lucky man.
Winner, winner.
Yeah.
Chicken dinner.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Meeting is